So today, our topic is the heart. What I've been noticing, especially this year when I'm working with people's, well, certainly treatments of patients, but also in my own healing of myself, that once the body really starts to activate and release, it's like I find we are sort of confined in this dense shell of this fascial matrix and kind of we're a little bit shrink wrapped is the best word, that is my favorite term that I made up that really describes what I feel in people. What happens once the body really starts to thaw, and I don't know if it's meridians that I'm feeling, but communication between the areas of the body that has an electrical quality. And there's some specific recurrent ways that I see that emerging. I see usually a left body channel and a right body channel, and then a midline. And that when all of the electrics of the body start to open up, everything references this central axis, right? And once that starts to happen, like I can feel mine now because I did a good amount of meditation today. There's a lot of power moving through my body, and it really does the work of holding me up while I'm sitting and has me feeling very awake and very energized and also very inspired. So it's like the whole point of these flow practices is to turn the body on. It's kind of like taking a dimmer switch and turning up the volume and getting the light really bright. And what I notice is that the heart seems to be at the center of the whole matrix of electrical circuitry and communications, and even structurally. We talk about the cranium and the sacrum, and those are really significant gates. Like in Qigong, every joint is a gate. So that we're managing is really this river of life force that runs through our entire bodies. And then when the gate of the cranium, which is a huge joint at the center of the head, is free and is able to subtly fluctuate or resonate with the what we call the resonant frequency or the life force resonance in the body, the electricity can transmit through. And what I find is that people are then able to connect to the pole of skyward, which we might call cosmic energy source. And then also through the root, the sacrum is the other big, functional fulcrum in the body or gate. It's the opposite pole of the cranium. The cranial junction is this lumbosacral junction, or it's roughly about the second sacral segment that this pivoting happens in this one of the very largest mechanical junctions in the body. And when that opposite pole opens up, we then have connection with the earth. And then we're logging on to kind of these opposite poles that combine to connect the body to the larger experience of existence. And then we also are not only stabilized, but energized by these connections. And it's a really a magnificent experience of feeling belonging and connection and support, and certainly a constant infusion of regenerative energy that can come from being connected this way. So the whole point of everything we're doing is to open these gates. That's why we work with the tongue, to continue to activate and stimulate this motion through the head, and also the tongue kind of sets the igniter of this midline action. And the other thing is that the heart seems to be the ground zero reference point of everything. Sometimes I can just get into my heart and tune into things I'm grateful for, or people or animals that I love, or just really feel deeply grateful and appreciative of myself. Like I just felt saying that out loud. I got this big burst of heat in my body, and that can ignite the entire matrix of circuitry. Really fascinating sometimes. And for a lot of us, this is the heart center is actually kind of compressed or entrapped mechanically. A lot of times that's because of the way we sit. That's why we work so much on the way we move through space throughout the day, because we can move in a way that maintains fluidity in all of these relationships versus collapse, compression, or density. And so once I start to work through the body's holding patterns, and they're all brilliant compensations that help us make the best case scenario of any situation that we're in. However, over time, these protective mechanisms kind of confine us and hold us back from fully expressing the full capacity of this life force breath. And so what I find is once we start to get through these surface patterns, everything, all the mechanical patterns in the body start to play off the heart center. So the heart's at the center of everything. It's like the sun of the solar system, of our whole being, our whole mechanical makeup, and our whole electromagnetic makeup. And then, of course, the point is that those two integrate and become one thing. So I like to say the sun is the solar system of the universe, of the body and the being. And there's one additional thing that I keep coming back to in my imagination, this idea in Vedic teachings that is the heart is able to communicate with the higher centers, the intuition, the pineal gland, the crown chakra, the third eye and the crown, that our intuition opens up, because the heart is meant to drive what we see. Like, we'll get more information when the heart is available to ensure that we utilize whatever information we're receiving in a high integrity and responsible way. So that just resonates for me. I don't have proof of that, but it makes sense to me that would be how we would be created, or we would be able to really reference this heart energy, which is really everything is love, right? So the love is the source of everything. Love is the generator of everything. Love is the center. Our heart capacity is the center of our physical and electromagnetic integrity, and certainly the source of our inspiration and meaning in our lives. And I think really the whole reason that we're here in these bodies. So we will circle back and talk about this more. I'd really love to hear your comments, insights, thoughts, trials, tribulations, curiosities. And yes, no topic is beyond possibility of discussion. So I look forward to hearing from you soon. Take care. For information on our more extended trainings, which offer continuing education credits for providers of all kinds, email us at practices@flowismedicine.com, and be sure to follow us on social media.